Hello friends, let's start the meditation with divine guidance from Brahma Shri Pitama Patriji, Mahatar Babaji.
Aryan,
Can you please mute yourself, please? Mahatar Babaji, Ramta Master, with humble pranams to all the masters who are guiding us on conducting this Swadhyaya of Divine Design book. With a lot of gratitude, let's start this meditation. Please sit in a very comfortable position. Ensure that your body is very comfortable. Let's relax the body. Close your eyes gently. Clasp your hands on your lap. Cross your legs. Remove your spectacles if you're wearing any. Let's start to relax the body. The more and more you relax the body will become heavy, and also you'll feel a lot more lighter. Feeling will be lighter, body will be slightly heavy because all the weight will be slightly going towards the ground. It's more like a feeling. The more you practice relaxation, the more you will understand that the body is actually going into relaxation. So let's focus on each body part. Then take your focus to that body part. Take your awareness to that body part. And then at the out breath, just say in your mind, relax. And then let that out breath be longer. So every single out breath will actually relax the body. My head region is relaxed. My forehead is relaxed. My neck is relaxed. My shoulders are relaxed. My hands are relaxed. My upper back and lower back both are relaxed. My chest, stomach are relaxed. My hips are relaxed. My leg region, thighs, calf, my feet and sole, everything is relaxed. From top to bottom, my whole body is completely relaxed and relaxed and relaxed. Release all the stress and tension from your body and mind. Come back to the present moment and just focus on your breath. During meditation, if thoughts come, let the thoughts release. because that is also a form of detox. Let the thoughts get released, but you don't focus and analyze the thoughts and make it alive once more. Let it go and come back to the breath. My forehead is relaxed. My face region is relaxed. My shoulders are relaxed. My back part of the body is relaxed. Chest and stomach are relaxed. Hips are relaxed. Leg region is completely relaxed. Thighs, calf, feet. Everything is completely relaxed. My whole body is fully relaxed and relaxed and relaxed. Now let's move to the Anapanasati meditation. Just observe your breath. The more the body becomes relaxed, the observation becomes more seamless, more comfortable.
నాకు ఒక అరగంట 4K మాట్లాడతా.
Hello, Master. Slowly, at the count of 5, keep your hands. Pooja. Pooja, mute yourself. Pooja. Yeah. So at the count of 5, keep your hands on your eyes and slowly open your eyes. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hello, friends. How are you? Welcome to day 20 of Divine Design. I don't think we had any outstanding questions. Bindu did have some 4D races related question, which we will discuss in the upcoming chapters. Okay, Bindu. So let's go to the chapter. Think. Okay. So we'll do the 7th point now. The impact of the human form's frequency. The 7th. So yesterday we read about the 4D races, which was the 6th reason for the fall. The 7th reason, the 7th pivotal reason for the fall was the impact the human form's frequency had on the Earth's frequency. Okay, there was a dependency, right? Earth fell down majorly because she had a dependency on the frequency of the collective. Okay, we noticed that as the human form shifted into lower frequencies, the Earth plane was also being pulled down into these lower frequencies. This changed our understanding of the relationship between the human form and its impact on Earth. See, one thing that we have to understand is everything is energy. So you may be thinking that you are totally isolated if you have some negative frequencies. If you are thinking in negative frequencies, nobody else is going to be harmed or nobody knows about it. You are actually impacting at a collective level. You are adding that drop of negativity, you are adding that drop of lower emotion, lower frequency. You are basically contributing to the lower frequencies. And it also means that at an earth level, earth is also energy, right? So at that level everything will be impacted, and then beyond the earth also everything is again energy, frequency, and vibrations. So there also it will be impacted. So everything is basically in the same common medium. But what we see is different, that's all. But the medium is the same, but we don't understand it for whatever reasons, right? So you need to understand that they did not envision, they did not even, rather they didn't think that far, that we had a symbiotic relationship, which means Earth helps us when she is growing, when her frequency is rising for whatever reason. Let's say at a collective level, her frequency is now in the 5D. Okay, she has already moved to 5D. But we are at a single individual level, we are, let's say, in 3D or 4D or whatever it is. So the difference between her frequency and our frequency is now going to become bigger and bigger. Okay. If that becomes bigger, what happens? We will see the impact on our bodies. We will see the impact on our lives. So that is why. So this changed our understanding of the relationship between the human form and the impact on Earth. There was a symbiotic relationship between the Earth plane and the human body that eventually led to Earth's shift into 3D. Symbiotic relationship means there is a give and take between both the parties. Okay, there is nothing like you dip. It is not parasite. Okay, parasite means there is only one-sided relationship. For example, uh, like fungi, right? It grows on some dead and decaying stuff and all that. So that is not a symbiotic relationship. I don't know whether I'm giving the right example. Sometimes creepers, right? They climb onto the trees. So there also they are holding on to the tree, but the tree is not depending on the creeper. Something like, but here, and when we talk about the biggest symbiotic relationship that I know of, inside our body, there are a lot of germs, okay, microbiomes. And these microbiomes have a symbiotic relationship with our body because they take care of the body's well-being by breaking down the food and this and that and all that. Lots of germs inside the body. And then we take care of the germs in terms of giving them shelter and also giving them all kinds of foods that we are eating. So if you give them healthy foods, then they will be healthy, and then in turn they will give us health. They will keep the body's health. And if we are giving them junk food and other things, I mean rather lower frequency foods, then they will also shift to lower frequencies, and then the experience from inside the body also will be low frequencies. These also affect us mentally as well. So body and mind also have a symbiotic relationship. When human form accesses lower consciousnesses in lower dimensional fields, the form slowly shifts into those fields that we saw yesterday, lower frequencies. When the human form anchors into lower dimensional field, the form is holding that dimensional field's frequency. As humans began to access 4D frequency as in eventually anchor into fourth dimensional field, we noticed the earth plane beginning to be pulled down into 4D frequencies and 4D field. Because ultimately she has to support those experiences, right? Because she's only providing the platform, so she has to provide the experiences. So obviously there is a symbiotic relationship. The human body was energetically impacting the frequency of earth plane by shifting their own body's frequency. As hundreds and thousands of humans began to anchor into fourth dimensional field due to 80% of their body holding the 4D frequencies, the earth plane began shifting into 4D frequencies and anchoring into the 4D. The more humans anchored into 4D, the faster the earth plane shifted into 4D. Earth did not intend to shift into lower frequencies. Humans had free will, and she allowed for free will. Thus, she allowed herself to shift down as the humans chose to experience the 4D, but it was never her intention, right? She didn't intend to do that because she was not participating in that 4D. She basically was forced to go down. Remember, the experiment Earth laid out was volatile. There was and is room for many different experiences to unravel due to free will. She knew this, and we knew this. We put in place universal laws that would assist in keeping her experiment in intention on track. Had we known that human forms could pull the earth down to pull down in frequency, we might have created another universal law. Okay, they didn't think about it. Earth, because nobody actually thinks about the future. Today, in this moment, you're basically making a decision and then taking it forward. But in retrospect, if you look at your decisions of the past, you can't judge your decisions of the past because at that time, those were the facts that came to your head and then you basically decided based on that. But today, based on some other wisdom and some other knowledge, based on these people going down in frequencies, and now you have different knowledge, different experience, right? Now you can't go back to that, think about the past and say, oh no, we made a mistake. Okay, that is guilt. We should never do that. We should think that acha, at that time whatever happened was also good. This time whatever is happening is also good because everything turns out always to be good. There are no coincidences. Everything happens. Okay, see, there are bigger things that are actually bigger factors are working here, which even the GFOL is trying to figure out, right? GFOL is also, okay, GFOL is also a part of Prakriti, part of Maya, okay? So everybody has nobody is perfect in this. Okay. Everybody has maybe their own frequency. They work as per those frequencies. Higher frequency people work as per that frequency. Low frequency people work as per that frequency. The knowledge, wisdom, everything works out as per that frequency. Now, they also did not envision that this will happen, because this is the first time that all this is actually happening, and this happened like millions and millions of years away. Okay, so had we known that human forms could pull the earth down in frequency, we may have created another universal law. Earth and we had to let the experiment play out, because it was anyway happening. We can't chase those people away and say, oh, get out now. Okay, I didn't want this to happen. She can't do all that now. Now it's like she has to surrender and just let go. It took millions of linear years, but eventually we had an earth plane in the 5D field and 4D field simultaneously. We had 5D human forms and 4D human forms and 4D races on the earth plane. Okay. After millions of years, they had 5D field and 4D working. So basically, there were people here also, there were people here in the 4D also. There were human forms in 5D also, there were human forms in 4D also. And in the 4D, there were also races. Both the 5D human and the 4D human were existing on the same physical earth plane, just in two separate dimensions. There was one physical earth plane being experienced, yet it held two-dimensional fields, two realities to experience on the earth plane. There wasn't a separate 4D earth plane. Okay. Over time, the 4D humans slowly began accessing the third dimensional field. They chose to experience 3D consciousness, allowing their bodies to hold the 3D frequencies. As more 4D humans accessed the 3D and 3D consciousness, their body began to pull the earth plane down to 3D frequencies as well. Both the human form and the earth plane began to experience and hold the 3D frequencies within the 3D field. It took millions of linear years, but we watched as the earth and humanity's frequencies shifted from 5D to 3D frequency. It was becoming extremely difficult for earth to shift into 6D anymore. Okay, she could not go any more further. Earth's timeline shift. Earth was continuing to be pulled further and further into the 3D field. The 3D was now being accessed by both humans and 4D races, and 3D, okay, 3D field was now being accessed by both humans. So human beings had also descended down to 3D, and 4D races are in 4D only. They are not coming down to 3D. Okay, for them, there is only one dimension. They will be in that dimension only. But they can access 3D. Okay, they can from that level, they can basically work with people in the 3D kind of thing. That is called access. And in so doing, they were experiencing and creating from the consciousness found within the 3D field. They were creating realities from fear, greed, power, control, manipulation, lack, and so much more. Okay, because the spectrum is huge in 3D. They were creating realities from all this. The realities created chemical, technological, and physical warfare on the earth plane. And we all know that, right? We all know that how all of these things were created. Today, is it possible? Today, generally what we do, we blame each other for creating all of these things. Is it even fair to blame each other? And if everybody is God, and if everybody is basically getting played out because of the frequencies, and you are in no control of your HS, you're not in touch with your HS and all, is it even fair to blame each other and then create more of power, create more of separation between each other? Is it even fair? What should we do? We should in fact work on ourselves and say, okay, am I basically blaming somebody else for creating, let's say, a plastic? Should we blame somebody else for doing something else? Should we blame somebody else for, let's say, creating some chemicals in the river and all that? I mean, we are all deluded and all kinds of nonsense is happening. And how can we just blame each other? Is blaming going to help each other? And is anybody in a mindset to listen to you? Nobody is in a mindset to listen to you. If you are not in a mindset to go into oneness, why will they listen to you and go into oneness? So we need to first look within and then go higher, so that at least in your reality, people will be impacted by your energy, and then you'll be able to take people along with you. Okay, hate is not the answer. Blaming is not the answer. Complaining is not the answer. Interfering in somebody else's life to fix them is definitely not the answer. We have never succeeded in basically fixing anybody. We'll try. We usually have tried because we are now on this plane. But then it never works. At least from that, we need to understand and slowly wake up to the fact that it is actually the frequency that we are here that makes us like this. Humanity was in a timeline that would see the physical destruction of the earth plane and all humans and non-humans on the planet. This timeline was inevitable because of the millions of human beings who were now participating in the 3D frequencies and overall frequency of the human collective and the earth plane. So there was destruction. We all know what kind of destructions we have all done, right? We've done bombs. We've done all kinds of chemicals on the planet. We've basically used soaps and this and that and many things we've done. But when will we stop doing all those things? When we start to connect at an energetic level to the reality around us. When we energetically connect to nature, when we energetically connect to people around us. Okay, for that we need a higher frequency. Just looking at it on paper, okay, many people today in the name of activism, what do? We basically blame things. We are again still in duality. We are trying to achieve saying that I am on the side of earth, and I'm going to save earth kind of thing. Many people are doing that. But then in turn, the kind of methodology that is being used is again duality. So how does it really help earth in this way? You're just running from good to bad and bad to good. In the process of doing good, you are also doing bad to earth. So there is no point in going horizontal from this side to that side. You have to go vertical. And to go vertical, you need to first understand what is your contribution to this whole earth plane. If you are not understanding your own contribution, it doesn't mean that you're using plastic. It doesn't mean that you're using chemicals. You need to first understand at an energetic level. First of all, using plastic, using chemicals and all of those things happened first in the mind. So in your mind, start to believe that I need to first get that urge to raise my frequency and understand truly what is actually a proper contribution towards earth. In my lower frequency understanding, I can't even understand what is the right contribution. So to understand what is the right contribution, you need to raise your frequency to go to a higher level and think from that level and say, oh yeah, this is what exactly I have to do to help earth. So in the name of helping earth, if you're again, going against the creations of earth, which is again another few human bodies, it doesn't really help. Because ultimately, we may be different. We may be looking different, we may be leading different lives, but at a common level, we are all one energy, frequency, vibration. So you have to understand the contribution at an energetic level before you blame, before you contribute towards good and bad kind of situations on the earth plane. Okay, it is so important that we think at that level, because you see how our frequency impacts earth. And because earth is our mother, right? She was the one who helped us get this whole experiential thing. And what did we do? We basically put her down. And of course, it's not like we did it by purpose or something. It just turned out to be like that. And nobody envisioned this. There is nobody to blame here. In my opinion, you can't blame anybody in this. Everybody is playing out free will. Every HDC is playing out their free will. And at a helicopter level, at a higher level, nobody except GeoFOL, nobody is able to see that big picture. They are only doing their part in this whole thing. And at least when we are getting to this kind of understanding, we should be able to understand what is my contribution towards the earth frequency. A timeline holds the experiences and future outcomes that will be experienced by the human or the collective human collective. Each human holds their unique timeline. Okay. And the human collective holds a timeline. Okay. This is a concept that we have to understand. Each human holds a unique timeline, and the human collective, a group, holds a unique timeline. Timelines are based on the frequency of the human being or the human collective and are designed to shift if and when the frequency of the human or the human collective shifts. So which means I have a different timeline based on my uniqueness of my frequency that I am operating in. For example, I may be slightly, let's say, very close to 4D. Then that in that triangle, my gap would be reduced, right? Understand what I'm saying? Timeline is based on that triangle. The lower you are in the triangle, the higher is the timeline, which means that now moment has got expanded so much, which means your past and future is different compared to. So that is why they say everybody is vibrating on their own time-space realities. If you and I are looking at an apple, what you think when you see the apple, what I think when I see the apple, or what color you see, whatever you perceive when you see the apple, whatever I perceive when I see the apple are two different things. Why? That is exactly why you should say that I am in two different realities. I am in a different frequency. So I'm getting a different experience altogether. They are getting a different experience altogether. So which is why they say everybody is operating from their own time and space realities, because everybody is on a unique point in that 12D grid. Okay. So that is what it means. And at a human collective, one group of people who are contributing to a certain frequency of the 3D collectively. Okay. Collectively, if we have brought Corona, so that is a collective frequency contribution. Corona is a collective frequency contribution. So like that, each collective is also, there could be many collectives. Maybe one collective is about, let's say, people who are doing meditation for global world peace or something like that. There could be one collective. Basically, everybody is working towards, they are contributing towards a certain point on that grid, for a certain frequency on that grid, and those kinds of things. So if you are contributing to fear, you are also a part of that collective who is in fear. If you are contributing towards greed, then you are contributing towards the collective energy where everybody is only working on greed. Okay. So you need to understand that we are, through our way of lifestyle, way of thinking, is always predominantly a part of some collective or the other. And because of that, predominantly, Earth is in that frequency. If predominantly everybody is in a fear-based frequency, then that whatever is that fear frequency, if it is in a part of 3D, then Earth will be in the level of 3D. So it depends on what is the majority of the frequency or predominant frequency from the collective energies of the human beings living on the earth plane, that basically defines her frequency. Okay. However, there were millions of humans experiencing the 3D frequencies and creating a collective time. Where was I? Timelines are based on the frequencies of the human or the human collective and are designed to shift if and when the frequency of the human or the human collective shifts. All timelines impact the earth plane and the earth herself. Okay, I told you how now. At this point in humanity's history, most of the human collective was holding 3D frequencies. So predominant. Their timelines were reflecting these frequencies. If the human collective could shift their frequency up or down, the timeline would invariably shift. So it always depended on Majority of the people where they are. However, there were millions of human beings experiencing 3D frequencies and creating a collective timeline that was about to destroy the earth. Okay, they didn't know that they were destroying, but it was about to be destroyed. It was at this moment we knew we would be intervening, because they had decided that there was a universal law which said if there was anything that would happen in this free will business, where earth is now about, well, where earth's destruction is happening, earth plane, okay, earth as a HDC will not be destroyed, but earth as a body, if that body is going to be destroyed, then we will intervene. One of the universal laws that we had was the ability to intervene if the earth plane was going to be physically destroyed. We were now going to be pivoting the entire earth experience. We were going to pull her out of the human collective's timeline and allow her to choose a new timeline for herself and humanity. Okay, they wanted to give her an option and maybe basically do some jugaad there. There were two timelines we created for earth to choose to step into at this moment of intervention. Okay, they created two timelines for earth. They said you can choose to go here or you can go here. We would shift her back into 5D and she would start all over again in the 5D. That was one option. She would shift herself back into the fifth dimension. So in these options, they would physically shift her to 5D and then she would start off all over again. She would shift herself back into the fifth dimension. Or second option is she's now in 3D, right? So she will only come to 5D at some point. She would begin again in the third dimension with the intention of moving back into 5D. So this is her journey. She will again have to journey into 5D. Her physical form would be in the 3D and all physical forms on her would be in 3D. She would begin her evolution from 3D. Earth has always been conscious of her experience as well as the gift and the power of free will and the quantum field. Okay, she's very generous or whatever, motherly like kind of person. She recognized what was occurring on her and she lovingly allowed for it to unravel. Okay, she just allowed. She said it's okay. It was a part of the experiment, even if it was not intended through her choices. She said it's okay. Whatever has happened. Although we did not intend for this to go this way, it's okay. Let us allow. She surrendered. At that point, she surrendered and she said, it's okay. Everything is happening for the best kind of thing. So it's okay. I'll allow this to happen. Let's see. She just allowed. She knew by allowing HTC to participate in her experiment, there would be multitude of variables and outcomes. Apparently, in her mind, she basically knew that she was allowing for many things to just unfold. Too many variables were there, right? Too many things. I mean, you can't expect people with all kinds of backgrounds and all kinds of frequencies and other things to come here, and then minds and whatever you want to call it, to basically, and they also had free will to do whatever they want, to create whatever they want. So she knew there was a possibility like this. She viewed as shifting her back into 5D as a disruption of free will and the quantum field. She thought that if they interfered in her current state, they would be interfering in her free will. So she did not allow that to happen, because that was a violation of the universal law. It was a even bigger universal law. It was not even a macro. It was not even a micro. It was a macro universal law where free will was interfered and all that. She trusted all the players out thus far and chose to begin number 2 again in the 3D. She wanted to honor the experiment and do the work of evolving back into 5D. Okay, that is what Earth decided. Now they decided to do some cleanup work on Earth, because now Earth was anyway getting destroyed, right? So now at least they had to do something to help that destruction from not happening. Once this choice was made, we had to clear her entire physical form in both the 4th and 5th dimension. Once the lower frequencies and dimensions were experienced and opened, we could not close or take them away. Okay, in the sense now they see at this point when people had already moved off into 4th and 3rd. right? At that time, they could not shut off and say, okay, like before they did not close, no? At the end of 5D, they did not close the grid. But now they could not close the grid because it was already too late. They had to remove all the humans. So we had to remove all humans, non-humans, 4D races, and all physical forms in both the 4D and 5D, fifth dimensional fields. We had to recreate her physical form in the 3D field. We had to recreate the human form and all the other physical forms in the 3D. We had to send out the first call for light workers. See, here what happened, they had to rework because her 5D form was not very suitable for 3D. And then you know that our physical bodies also were not very suitable for 3D. So they recreated the human form also to include all the parts that we have today, so that we can be the human of the 3D field. And then what did they do? They also created the first call for light workers. Light workers means to increase the light on Earth. See, now she's in 3D. Now, who is going to increase the light on her to push her up? There has to be some attempt to push her up, no? Who's going to push her up? There has to be somebody to push her up. So these light workers are going to start pushing her up from now on. Okay. So first they did a cleanup. What did they do? They removed all these human forms, non-human forms, they pulled them out. They pulled them out and then they redid the whole thing. Okay, makeover. They did the makeover, and then again, if we kept the 5D field on her while she began again in 3D, this would only perpetuate the same shift down into 3D by 5D humans. So they thought that now again, if we keep the dimension open for her to access as of now, then even when people when the human beings again come inside for the experiment, they would start off in 5D, higher dimensional consciousness. They would start in 5D and again, they would also shift down. Okay, they will also get lost. So we had to clear the entire earth plane from all consciousnesses, physical and non-physical, in any other dimensional field to ensure she would only be experiencing herself in the 3D field. This allowed for the most direct shift into 5D. So they did some cleanup to ensure that for now, she was experiencing herself only in the 3D field. And if she's in the 3D field, then she will only go to 4D field, then she will only go to 5D field. It was not like multiple things were there at that moment. So basically they start, now since Earth had already moved to 3D, they ensured that there was no cross contamination and cross and all that. Okay. We cleared the earth plane in a single moment. Just like that, magic. They just cleared it. See, they in Bible, you can they say that when I've read other books and all, they talk about the great flood, right? There was a great flood that came, and then Moses took all these all the pairs of animals, and that was Noah. Okay, that was Noah. Sorry. I don't know. Then, okay, I just mixed up. So they say that there was a great flood. Okay, that one. And then there are so many such mentions in our books where they talk about entire thing getting wiped out. Who knows? Maybe even the dinosaur period was wiped out like this only. I mean, I don't know what is this wiping out moment is all about. However, it was experienced in the 4th and 5th dimensional fields as a 24-hour period. So within 24 hours, they had cleaned up the whole earth. We used earthquakes, volcanoes, tsunamis to clear off most of the earth. You see how nicely they do it? They just have to kill off they know that nobody is going to die, right? They just have to kill off all the bodies. So all the animals, everybody died. All the humans who experienced the events were surrounded by higher dimensional consciousnesses. They were held in a field of light as they passed out of their physical forms. Because why were they held through their, why were they surrounded by HDCs? Because they were all lost in their own 3D energies, right? So they were all in fear. They were experiencing all that. So they wouldn't understand these things because they were not connected to HS, right? So they wouldn't understand that all these things were happening. So they surrounded them with light as they were dying. It was beautiful even though it was physically destructive. Okay, they basically cleared off the whole thing because they wanted to start everything from scratch. Because now it was a mixture. They say, right? I mean, even we used to use this thing in programming. We would say that it's actually better to rewrite. It's better to write a new program than basically what is that called? Do touch-ups or makeover for an existing program, because it's going to be very confusing, and it's not going to. You can be more efficient when you actually restart. So we ensured that these events were quick and all humans, non-humans, and 4D races on the Earth plane would navigate these clearings with ease and grace. The 5D human, 4D human, and 4D races experienced this clearing very differently. So what was each of their experience? Let's see. The 5D human was aware of what was occurring on the Earth plane. They were aware of Earth's shift into 4D and the timeline humanity was experiencing. They knew we would be clearing the Earth plane with natural events for Earth to begin again in the 3D. They were also aware that we would need humans to assist the Earth back into 5D. Every 5D human had 4 options to choose from once we cleared the Earth plane. The first option was to incarnate into a 3D human form and assist the Earth in shifting back to 5D in a new role called a light worker. Okay. They had this option. See, now it was more of a rescue mission. Okay. Now it became a rescue mission. It no longer was an experimental thing, enjoyment kind of thing. It was more now, it became a rescue mission. Now, all these volunteers who came, they were asking them, do you want to basically go to 3D and get her back to 5D? The second option was to incarnate back into 3D human form as a volunteer, experiencing the 3D but not assisting Earth in shifting. So basically, again, another, now you are experiencing 5D, do you want to go to 3D and also experiencing that? That is what one more question was. Both these options would become available as soon as Earth was cleared, and we had to redesign the human body into a 3D frequency. The third option was to transition out of 5D human form and go back to the consciousness it originated in prior to incarnating. Which means now, okay, goodbye. Goodbye. You want to stay and do something? What do you want to do kind of thing? Or you say, okay, bye and goodbye. The fourth option was to assist the Earth while she was in the 3D by remaining in the 5D within specific portals on the 3D Earth. So there are lots of such portals they created in each of these dimensions, which means navigating from one dimension to another dimension is done using something called portals or energy points, where if you've seen this in movies, in Doctor Strange and all that, you can see a whole that a round energetic field that they create like this, and then they go off inside that, and then they arrive somewhere else. Like even in Matrix, you can see that. So all of these things are called portals. So all of these options they had. First option was what? To incarnate into 3D and as a light worker, which means your focus, your entire intention is to basically help Earth, not about it is never going to be about yourself. It is only going to be about Earth's progress. The second option was to go back to 3D as another person who is going to experience 3D. Third option was to go back out of this Earth's experiment itself. Fourth option was to stay in the 5D, be aware kind of person. You'll be a person who's going to be aware in your in that dimension. And now since you have that connection to the cosmos and all that, you'll be watching all these 3Ds, and you'll be helping them through these portals. The last choice was a unique opportunity. If the HTC chose this option, they would remain in their 5D human form, but energetically move into a portal we created with. So this is the fourth option that we spoke about, right? The portal thing. The last option was unique opportunity. If the HTC chose this option, they would remain in their 5D human form, but energetically move into a portal we created within the physical structure on the Earth plane. they would anchor the 5D frequencies into the 3D plane as the Earth shifted down from the 3D to 5D. This had never been done before, but we knew it could have a significant impact in assisting Earth plane and the humans in accessing the 5D. So what it means is there are certain points on Earth where it would act like that frequency. Okay, like for example, when we went to Cosmic Valley, right, we were told that Cosmic Valley is in the 8th dimension. Okay, when few of us friends, we went to this Cosmic Valley in Telangana. It is a ashram kind of place. So there, when it has lots of these, it is a very high energy place where people, they say Mahatar Babaji meditated there and all that. So there's a lot of pyramids and many other things there. So when we went there, they told that that place is actually operating in the 8th dimensional space. And most of us there, we came back with a detox. After, I mean, the second day itself, I had a detox. My body could not actually be in that 8th dimension. So that energy was displacing a lot of lower energies within my body. So which means I had a lot of physical detox. From the second day itself, I had a detox. And then I was like with cold and fever and all that, I came back. Okay, so that is about these portals. And there are some enlightened masters, and they were telling us that people keep coming here from the other dimensions and all. They keep coming, they meet them, and all of that. So there are some of these planes. In fact, not just that place, we've heard about many other places as well, where people come and go like this. And which place? I had read recently about a book written by one lady about Mahavatar Babaji, right? And she was writing this book. She wrote this book in somebody else's house, okay, in some other pyramid master's house. And that master's house was actually a portal, and she was able to access, rather she was able to channel Mahavatar Babaji, and then she was able to write that book. She has written that in that book, right? Because that house was a portal, she was able to connect with his energies through that, in that house. So she wrote the book in that house or something like that. So there are so many such things. So they created some of these portals so that they were able to come down with their own energies and then do some work here in putting people up. In fact, even in this book called Doorways to Light, Manasa Foundation or Manasa Ashram or something, that is in Gubbi. There is an ashram in Gubbi near Bangalore, and the book also has been written by some high energy master. I forgot his name. I keep forgetting these names. So in that book, he also says that there was a field that they own. There was a field that they own, or it is in front of the ashram or something like that. And there also, that was also a part of the portal. That was also a portal where they would come down with their ships and all that from other dimensions, and they would do a lot of work here in increasing the energy of the earth. Many of them would also meditate and all of those things. They do a lot of such work, right? Yeah, anyway, it required us to open portals on the redesigned third dimensional earth plane. These portals would be held within the physical structures on the earth and would hold the 5D physical forms and frequencies. So just that only those points on earth would basically hold the different frequency. It would not be a part of the general 3D frequency, because physically many frequencies can coexist, many dimensions can coexist in the same physical. That much we saw, right? We understood. We used mountains, pyramids, rock formations, and oceans to hold the portals. They say even that Pyramid of Giza is also a portal. So In fact, our ancestors have used lot of pyramid formations. Even, in fact, so many mountains also have been pyramids. So pyramids that way, what pyramids do, they say is, pyramids not only raise the energies of earth, it also, it acts like the sun. Okay, it raises the energy of the surrounding area and all of that. So which means, see, wherever you are, if you are meditating, for example, and you are raising the energy for your own intention, let's say you are meditating. If you raised your energy and your frequency, ultimately surrounding you also there will be impact. And at an overall level also you will be contributing, right? You are like the drop in an ocean. And they say boond boond banta hai pani, no? It's like that. Every drop has made an ocean. And you are also a drop that is, you are contributing to the ocean. And if you are contributing to tsunamis, then there will be tsunamis. If you are contributing to peace waves, calm waves and all that, then you'll also be contributing to that. So you have to understand where every single thing, every single thought that we think also basically impacts at a very, very bigger level. You are not alone. You are not alone, and you cannot say that I can do whatever I want. I can do whatever I want because I am separated. You are not separated. You are a part of this whole consciousness because your energy is all intermingled with other energies. And your energy, whatever you are doing, will definitely impact Earth at a global level. And if you impact Earth at a global level, you are also harming yourself again, because again, you are a part of the whole, right? So that is why if you think bad, lower frequency thoughts, then you will harm yourself indirectly. Okay, so that is what we need to know. So you can never think that I will do whatever I want and then I will curse somebody else, I will hurt somebody else, I will think bad about somebody else, I will interfere, I will blame, I will complain and do whatever I want. I will do a lot of expectations, I will have judgment. Whatever it is you can do, but ultimately you are the one who's going to face it. And of course, you would have, before you face it, you would have also sent it out to the cosmos, and law of attraction would have brought it back to you because you are also still attracting the same frequencies. And you would have also given that to that collective frequency, who is also, many people are also in that frequency, right? You would have added to that frequency. You are a part of the team who creates, let's say, greed energies, fear energies, and all of those things. So it's a very, very tricky thing. Whatever we are, the life that we are leading is a very tricky thing. Okay, we need to be so mindful about what we are doing. This fourth option allowed the HTC in the 5D form to the opportunity to stay in the 5D field and 5D frequency and field, and yet participate in the 3D using these portals. Thousands of 5D humans chose this last option. Okay, they did not choose to come down to 3D, but they chose to remain as in their light bodies. They are all having light bodies, no? So today, if we look at a 5D human, maybe when, let's say, you meditated and you go to that 5D level frequency, and now you see some people like vibrating kind of thing with different colors or something like that, we think they're all angels. But actually, they are all there. We were also like that only, but then we moved down. They have been holding the 5D frequency within the earth plane since she began her journey in the 3D around 15,000 years ago. And they played and are currently playing a significant role in Earth's humanity shift into 5D field. They were the first light workers of the 3D. So basically, they were the first light workers. I mean, they didn't come down. It was not like option one. And definitely some people chose option one, but then some people chose option 4, and they were also assisting in increasing the light of Earth. Once all 5D human beings chose one of the 4 options, they were then either agreed to stay on Earth and experience the physical clearing, or they exited the human form prior to the natural clearing. Okay, because they were aware, they moved out of their body, they only gave up their body and they went away. Okay, they were aware, so it was okay for them. If the humans chose option 4, they would be shifted into a 5D portal as we were clearing off the earth plane. They could shift before the clearing. or they could experience the natural events and shift during the clearing. So if they wanted to experience even the tsunamis and natural floods, grids and all that, because they understood, no, experience is an experience at their level. They knew that it was an experience. So they were all at that enlightened state kind of thing. So some people chose to experience it. Some people said, no, it's okay. I'll go into the 5D portal and be protected kind of thing. Either way, they would not transition or pass from the human form. They stayed with the human form and simply moved into the 5D portal of the earth plane. They would remain there until we had the portal created in the 3D field. If the human chose the first option or the second option and decided to exit the human form, what was the first option? Either they become a light worker or they come here as a volunteer, which means they had to choose a new body. Why? Because even if they come here as a light worker or if they come here as a volunteer, they had to choose the body of a 3D guy. Okay, they cannot have the old body. So they had to exit the human form. They would move back into consciousness. They exited in prior to incarnating and wait for the earth to be cleared. And then they'll come. If the earth chose to experience the physical clearing, if the human chooses to experience a physical clearing, they would go through the natural physical events that would unravel. Once the human transitioned out of the human body or died or passed, the HTC would exit the human form and the earth plane. So typically what happens see here, it's the 5D who's aware about everything. Regardless of which choice the human made, the HTC would have to wait for the earth plane and the human body to be redesigned in the 3D frequency to incarnate back into the human form. Remember, we are describing this event as if it occurred in linear time and space. However, this event was occurred in one linear 24-hour period, it seems. Within 24 hours, this was done. So the waiting that any HTC experienced was very brief. The humans who chose the third option, whether they stayed and experienced the clearing or departed before clearing, would move back to their original consciousness they existed before to incarnating as soon as they departed the human form. So they basically, third option, some people went away. What did the 4D human experience? The 4D human's experience of the clearing was very different from the 5D human experience. Actually, we'll do that tomorrow. Monday. Monday we'll do that. 4 point. Yeah, we'll do these parts tomorrow, because if I start this now, then probably take some time. Okay, friends, any questions so far? 2 more points and then we'll come to the end of the chapter. We'll do that on Monday. Yeah, Gitanjali, many people are unmuting. Who wants to go first?
Yeah, Smita, I have a question. Yesterday you said that we had no free will. Actually, we are not designed for the free will. And here it is said it is the free will of the human that Earth is experiencing.
Who has free will? Who are you? Who are you speaking as?
Speaking as Pooja.
Who is Pooja?
Pooja is a human form.
Pooja is a human form.
Yeah,
Pooja is a human form. Human form doesn't have free will. Are you in the awareness of the HTC as of now?
No.
No. That's why we don't have free will. If you had that, see, all these 5D humans had free will, no? Because they were in that level of awareness. Okay, they were in that awareness state was different. Our awareness state is body. That is why we don't have free will, because we can't think at that level. Body was designed for what? Whatever body was designed for, that much only you have.
Okay.
Because you are acting like a body, no? If you were acting like a consciousness that was driving the body, you had access to HS also. Then you will work as per what HS is telling. And HS people, they all have free will, no? Because that is the original universal law. Free will means they can understand the impact. They have a bigger understanding of this whole picture. But do we have? We don't have. That is why I'm saying we don't have free will.
Okay, it means if we think that we had the free will and we are doing whatever we want, so it means we are pushing the earth into the lower frequency.
Depends, no? Depends. Let's say you say, I'll do whatever I want. I'm going to shout at them whatever I want. That depends on what you choose as whatever I want. Because do we even understand the consequences of that? It will create something. We are creators. By nature, we are creators. So automatically, see, when I say I'm in body consciousness, the one who's behind me is more like he's also deluded because he has no access to HS. So when you say I am doing these kinds of actions, the one who's driving you only is doing all those actions without having connection to HS, which means it's all playing out through both all deluded parties, ego and all that. It is all playing out. So you can do whatever you want. Many people say, I want, they do manifestation, all of that they do because it works, because that's our nature, it works. But we have no awareness of where it is going to take us. Is it going to keep us in duality? Is it going to take us up? Where is it going to take us? Is it going to create permanent happiness for us? Or is it temporary happiness? All that we are not aware at all. So creation is anyway happening through us, which is what everybody did, no? All 3D, 4D, all these people who are still creating and destroying Earth, they said, no? Chemicals and this and that and all they created. Because they were not aware of what they were doing. That is why Earth was about to be destroyed. At that time, it was very severe. And then they cleared off Earth and then they created a 3D kind of thing where nobody could, from people from up also couldn't access them. They couldn't access the higher dimensions. So now they had to actually gain knowledge to actually go there. So this guy cannot access the 5D, and the 5D people cannot access can access provided they have portals. They come through the portals. They sort of, it was isolated now because we were messing up the whole thing. So yeah, now you have a dimension where you can continue to keep messing up until you get knowledge to grow higher.
And Smita, one more example you have given about the activism. You said that the activism, they themselves are in the duality. They are not aware. So first of all, they have to raise their vibration. So in what concept they have to raise their vibration and how they are in duality?
So give me an example of what activism you're talking about.
Like the veganism activism are there. Generally, they said ki don't kill animals. Animals, we should take care of them, and they are also the God given.
Even I tell don't kill animals.
Hmm.
But when we say don't kill animals, are we trying to hate somebody else who's doing something to animals? So what kind of methodology are we doing? What kind of mind are we using? That it depends on that. So we have to question ourselves whether I am in duality when I'm doing activism.
Okay, it means
I
we
can
should
keep telling, please don't kill animals, please don't kill animals.
Okay, we should give the awareness, but don't hate the person who is doing the cruelty to animals or who is consuming the dairy products.
Yeah, because if you hate, you are in hate.
Okay.
You are impacting, you are contributing towards this hate frequency. You should be at the love frequency. You should tell whatever you want. Share the information, whatever you want. Because if that is what you want to do, that you feel it's right to do, you do it. But then you have to be in that oneness when you're doing it. You can't be in duality when you're doing it. If you're in duality, you're taking sides. If you are in one side, you obviously don't like the other side. It's like India-Pakistan match. So that should not happen, I said. So you need to understand whether I can do anything. But am I standing from a place of oneness and telling about it, or am I standing from a place of duality to talk about it? What is in my mind? Which side I am? If I'm on nobody's side, I stand alone and I'm going to talk about this. Yes, that is perfectly okay.
But Smita, generally, when we are in the nature cure and when we speak about the nature and about the low frequency food like the white sugar and all that, so we have to tell like no, we should not consume sugar because it is bad. So यहाँ तो
who
good
are you
bad.
telling? We should understand who are you. Is somebody asking you to tell that? Is saying, Pooja, can you please help me understand what is this sugar all about? Then they are asking you, you can tell, see, sugar is a lower frequency food. Maybe you can consume fruits. You can tell. But let's say now you saw somebody eating white sugar and you go and tell them don't eat. Then you are interfering in their business. They didn't come and ask you. So will they change? Such people will not change.
So, Smita, why will they come and ask me if they don't have any knowledge? If we share and give knowledge, then only they will ask, na.
When did you get knowledge? Did you go seek knowledge? Something happened to you and then automatically you were led to that knowledge. Like that, even something will happen to them and they will also be led to that knowledge. It is all about a part of evolution. In evolution, everybody is taken care of. We are not saviors of anybody. We are saviors of ourselves. People who rescued you, people who think about you, or anybody, let's say your own higher self, whoever, right? They're all our parents, our own higher self. They're all watching us, no? They're our parents. It's like a child is lost. So they will not abandon the child. They will do every possible effort to wake up the child. So like that, everybody has a higher self, no? So they will wake them up. So we should never think that somebody is like lost. They may be suffering, they may be doing all sets, but they are experiencing duality. But how will they will never come to a point where they will appreciate and say, yes, I need to seek the God within me, unless they have done their quota of exploration. They should realize at some point that there is no joy, there is no happiness in the world that I am trying to look for. Only when that realization comes, they'll go to that path. So we cannot help people unless they want help.
Okay,
So if they ask you, yeah, go ahead and tell. But then you need to watch your words, because I have experienced my words impacting me only, which is why I have learned from my experience.
Okay, got it.
Yeah. Yeah, Sangeeta? I was actually in a very, since 2019, I'm experiencing all these things. I've been watching myself get impacted by my own words, which is why I have become very strong in my sentences about what I speak, especially with right and wrong kind of things. Because I mean, it's not very pleasant to keep going back to the. I mean, even now, I can say that it was very difficult. Even last few months were difficult. It is because we have so many belief systems that sort of play out. So we need to strongly walk towards oneness, irrespective of how much duality pulls us, how much name, fame, how much insults, how much isolation, how much of loneliness, or whatever you feel in this path. You have to walk the path of oneness. That is the best thing. Otherwise, suffering is too much, I can say. Confusion is too much, suffering is too much. Yes, Sangeeta?
Yes. Hello. So when the 3D Earth got two options, whether to go to 5D dimension or to continue in 3D, 3D Earth decided to continue in 3D. And at that time, there was a statement, it was mentioned that Earth trusted and accepted and surrendered. So it all were very good qualities, good emotions, but it was a 3D Earth. Why were there not? It was not exploring the emotional spectrum of 3D.
Because her form was very well aware that it was going. She did not get caught up in the 3D energies. Her form dropped, her physical form dropped, but she was well aware that it was all happening. And which means she did not choose to go. See, today also you can say that there are so many enlightened beings and all that who may experience 3D around them, who have a 3D body, and they'll probably be walking in between us. But they are well aware enough to understand how to, like what you say, smart enough to understand how to play in the 3D circle. Like if somebody is showing hate towards them, they are not participating back and shouting back at them. Then you're deluded. She was aware. She was well aware what is happening to her.
But if we see such a human, we might think, oh, he might be a 5D human living with us in this 3D world. But this was specifically a 3D Earth, but still she chose to use only positive names.
She was, her form had already gone to 3D, and she was watching.
Okay.
She was watching. So
Okay.
so then she got these options. It was not like she also was deluded in this whole thing.
Okay.
That is why that is why they say Earth is still that living body. She's still operating at that level. She's getting help because there is not, she gets help. She gets a lot of help from the higher beings and all of that to keep her form maintained and other things, just to ensure that this whole thing happens in the right way. But
so only the
well
Earth plane was 3D, not Earth.
No, not Earth.
Okay. And now
the other people, the other HTCs, the other HTCs body had also gone to 3D. They themselves had gone off to 3D. See, how did they even go to 3D? They chose to go to 3D. No, that's why, see, they became curious and went to 3D. But Earth knew what was 3D. She had understood she doesn't want to be there. All that she knew the implications of going to 3D. So, which is why she didn't participate in going to 3D.
So after the clearing, when there will be a 3D Earth, there will be a 3D Earth plane for sure. Would there be a 3D Earth, or we'll still have a 5D Earth?
Earth is anyway,
the HTC.
Earth is anyway a higher dimension consciousness. So she will anyway have a form that is getting attached to a 3D body.
Okay.
They created everything newly, no?
Okay. And like they are doing this clearing when everyone was entering 3D, was there such a clearing when there was a shift from 5D to 4D? They didn't mention such a clearing.
No.
Why
This was
wasn't
the first
it
time
needed?
that they started. This was the first time that they did. Next,
but why
in
was
future,
it not
again,
needed
one more
at
option
that
will
time?
come, but I don't think they did the clearing at that time.
But why was it not needed at that time when
they didn't think
we were
about
shifting?
Okay. It was not so huge at that time because once they shifted to 3D, the implications were even more bad, no?
Okay. Okay.
Now it was even more lower frequency spectrum that they were experiencing, and I don't know what all people did at that time.
And the humans that we have today here, some are humans, some are light workers. How do we differentiate?
I don't know how to differentiate that. You should only believe that you are a light worker.
Okay.
There are people who can understand. If you are at a higher consciousness, you can understand who is a light worker because you will understand your intention of coming to Earth. So if you are not at the level where you don't know what is the intention of you coming to Earth, you will not know that you are a light worker.
Okay. Okay, good. Thank you.
And it's good to feel, it is good to believe that you are a light worker and operate from that level. Because if you are typically, if you are in a position where you are helping somebody and all of that, they say that you are in a light worker position.
Okay. Thank you.
For example, when we went to Shambhala and all that, she used to tell that everybody is a light worker. That is exactly why you are here. So we can only believe.
So the Shambhala is only the meditation practice, or is it
you didn't attend, no?
Some course?
Yeah, it was a Swadhyay plus meditation. So
Swadhyay would mean reading a book like we are doing right now?
Yeah, she did a book reading. Yeah, some book that she had found. Some ancient book.
Okay. And the Shambhala that's happening now, that's only meditation?
Now Shambhala is not happening. Now some 3 hours meditation is happening. There is no Swadhyay.
Okay. Only the group name was Shambhala, so I was confused what to expect.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, good. Thank you. I will drop off now. I'll catch up later. Okay, thanks. Bye.
Yeah, Manjula.
So my question was on the second option, which we discussed of the four option, Smita. So the second option was calling out. The second option was to incarnate back into 3D human form as a volunteer, experiencing the 3D field, but not assisting the Earth in shifting into the 5D field. I'm just wondering, why do we have such an option if they stay in 3D but not willing to evolve to the 5D?
It's not about evolution. Evolution will anyway happen, but you are not doing anything like you are doing everything still for yourself, your experience. You are not doing for a greater contribution.
Okay.
If you had a greater contribution, if your purpose is for a greater contribution, then your life will be slightly different. You can make out. You will eventually be seen as a person who's slightly different from a crowd.
Okay. But they still decided to be only in 3D, right? That is why my confusion was.
Who decided to be in 3D?
The second option, the human form decided to be experience the 3D field.
See, now anyway, Earth will be in 3D. Now, like other volunteers who want to experience 3D, they just, see, now Earth was zero. Like, no, there was nobody. Now they had to populate, no? So they are asking who wants to go to that low level, get disconnected from yourself kind of thing. Yeah, it's obviously a disconnection. Now, what they had to do, they only had to push. They should very well know that once they go there, they'll not have access to HS. They have to work their way through all of those lower emotions and all that 3D is offering, and then they need to climb up. It was a choice that when people opted for it, even as a volunteer to go there, it was a choice that they very well knew that will take millions of years for them to come up. Because once you're stuck there, you're mentally gone. Until you're mentally okay, you won't be able to come back again. And see, ultimately, when a person knows that he's not going to die, and it's just a game, he has no other work, he'll go. And millions of years of linear years is nothing for some of these HTCs.
Okay.
Because in the Earth dimension and in the third dimension, time is like pulled. If it's million years here, it is 100 years here. Or maybe at some point from where they have come, it's 1 minute or 1 second or something like that. So for them, what is there?
So they just decided to have the 3D experience alone and then go to the
many have done that, one. Yeah.
Okay, they're not willing. They're not going to be evolving, but you just have.
They'll evolve, no? As the Earth, along with Earth, they'll also evolve. See, because once you go into 3D, right, you'll keep going back to 3D because your mind will be like, it's a vicious circle, right? Duality is a vicious cycle. It will keep pulling you back because you'll have desires to keep going back, keep going back, and then you'll keep going back until you finally get that mind that, okay, there's nothing left to experience here. I'm done and I need to go back.
On that case, it's like, why do they use the word but not assisting the Earth in shifting into 5D field, Smita?
Their purpose is not something higher. Their purpose is just jolly, tourist.
Okay.
Because for a light worker, for them, maybe family work, because they'll have to think beyond family. Maybe they'll have to do some meditations and this and that and all that. They'll be put into those kind of roles where they'll have to work for a common good kind of thing.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Smita.
Yeah, Sonia?
Hello, ma'am. Ma'am, over here it was mentioned that there are there was one physical earth plane being experienced, yet it had two-dimensional fields, two realities to experience on the earth plane. Like two-dimensional fields, what is that, ma'am? Is it
two-dimensional
fields?
Can you remove your other audio?
Ma'am, I just have one audio.
An audio. Okay, then you can mute yourself. Okay. So when you say two-dimensional fields are being experienced, so a person can lower himself to 3D and he can experience 3D dimension, or he can vibrate higher and go to 4D. So basically they had access to multiple dimensions available in the same earth plane, they said. But today we don't have, I think. At that time they say it was available where 5D, 4D, everybody were operating at the same level.
Ma'am, one more, like all these different dimensional people like working on different frequencies, they had different timelines. What is that different timelines?
Because I don't know, you were there in the first few classes, right? I had shown a triangle.
Yes.
So as you go to the higher parts of the triangle, the timeline is shorter.
Right.
Compared to the timeline a person is experiencing here. For example, take manifestation itself. If you want an apple, if you are here and if you want an apple, immediately you'll get an apple because the rate of return is very fast. Frequency is very fast, so you'll get it fast. But if you're here and you're asking for an apple, it is going to take that much longer for it to get created in the physical, because the energies are like, then one apple has to get created.
Okay. Got it.
So everybody is vibrating on a different timeline. So you can say each of us are in a different time-space bubble. Time and space. Some space we are occupying. That's why we are in some time and space bubble.
Okay, ma'am. Got it.
Okay. Thank you. If nobody has any questions, then we can close the call. Great.
Yes.
Thank you so much for attending this call. Thank you, Anita, for the Zoom application. Thank you, everybody, for being here, participating. Thank you to everybody on the YouTube, maybe watching us recording as well. It's really great to actually come together like this and then participate in a discussion. I mean, a very complex discussion like this. In fact, even I had this question about this. Hey, what does it actually mean by, was Earth also not deluded when she was in the 3D? Even I had that question. Even while reading the book now also I had that question. But then actually when she asked the question and when I started answering the question, the clarity came to me. So for that, like that, even I am learning.
There is a movie on Avengers in which he snaps the finger and the people vanish.
Doctor Strange, huh?
Yes, not this. This thing is like I couldn't.
Or the final one, the final Avengers movie.
Final Avengers.
Endgame.
In that, yes, ma'am, the end game. In that, he snaps his fingers and people vanish. It's just like that.
Yeah.
Same thing is mentioned over here.
Yeah.
Nice.
Thank you so much. Be blessed.